What's up, Wanna Coffee fam? It's Kai, and we are back, kicking off season 2, and things have slightly changed for us. We will have weekly contributions from strangers all over the world discussing various topics chosen by yours truly. And this is the first time these contributors have spoken to one another, so you are in for a real treat. Without further ado, here is Dre and Ron speaking about Cardi B and her $88,000 bag.
All right, now we're recording. Hey Siri. That's not it. Hey Siri. Set timer for 18 minutes.
Okay, your timer is set for 18 minutes.
And we're going. All right, so we're talking pop culture, and we're talking the infamous Cardi B tweet from a few, probably weeks ago now. We'll say a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Cardi, the lovely rapper of hits like WAP and BoJack Yellow and things. She tweeted about wanting a very expensive purse. She said, "Should I get this $10,000 purse or whatever it was?" And initially, her fans were just like, "Yeah" or "No," just judging by whatever if they like the purse or not. But then she got some backlash about reading the room, and I think that is the thing you and I, Ryan, we agree on is that tone deaf a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, definitely a little tone deaf. I mean, right? There's that topic of, say, maturity and responsibility that definitely we've seen some entertainers or celebrities in general really forget that they have a blessing in the fortunes that they've been able to strike in most cases with just utilizing their raw natural talents, and not realizing that there's a whole slew of people obviously that have had a struggling time with the COVID and having losing jobs and such, and having some challenges with everything that comes with that. So a little tone deaf to that effect. But again, there's is there an intent to it? And I think we probably both agree to that effect. There's really not that intent. It's it is somebody who has worked really hard to get to where they've gotten, and ultimately she saw something nice, she wanted it. Good for her.
Ultimately, it was a girl who wanted a purse and wanted an opinion on the purse, right? Like that's ultimately what it was. And I think we forget sometimes as civilians out here, right? Just regular civilians, that these celebrities that people put on really, really high pedestals, they're humans. They're human beings. And as I'm jokingly calling it, like, her Bronx came out. Like, I don't think the initial tweet was the issue. Like, the initial tweet is of, "Hey, I like this purse. Should I get it?" Like, everybody has done a version of that, right? Like, "I like this thing," or "Should I get this food?" or "What do you guys think of such and such?" We all have tweeted, Facebooked, or whatever, something to that effect. But I think when people kind of came back at her like, "Hey, read the room. The rest of us can't afford $10,000 anything. We can't afford food right now, blah, blah, blah." And then the response she gave was probably like, "Hey," was not probably, it was very much like, "Yo, I come from nothing and I can afford this right now and I'm excited about it and I just wanted to share." It's also like, and we know that she's like donated to certain causes and donated to and cash app people and fans on her Instagram all the time. And I think that her response to the backlash was mad aggressive, because she was defensive. She was defending herself. Like, I think she was, and I think that that's the human in her, right? Not realizing the responsibility of her celebrity in that moment, and was really just trying to be like, "Look, I came from nothing too, so I know what that feels like, which is why this feels good to be able to do this." and like the intention wasn't to harm, but again, it was always, to me, it's always the second and third tweet after the initial one that causes the issue that gets a celebrity in trouble.
Yeah, and it's just that fuel to the fire that, again, you might not have, for you and I, we might have seen the tweet and thought, oh, cool, chick wants a purse, it's awesome, looks like a cool purse, I don't know.
Right.
And then, as they get kind of deeper, then we start seeing that aggressiveness. Now a whole different bunch of people, a whole different angle of fans, or whatever the case may be, see something, now they're jumping on because now they feel like, um, there's something that they need to chime in about, because they're going to get defensive about their, whether it's offensive or defensive about their celebrity that they're really fan of, right? That they're, do they need to defend them? Do they need to go against them, be like, hey, maybe you're missing this? And now more people have gotten in, because now that fire has just spread. And so, yeah, it's definitely that second and third tweet that probably brought more of a controversy than even needed to be, but it's a slippery slope.
It is. And like, to me, I just wish that more, especially younger celebrities, had people that actually do this for them. And not just a cousin, a friend, or whatever, but someone who is knowledgeable about, because we're at the stage right now where social media is a legitimate like business. It's a legitimate career path for people, right? You can get a really good job being a social media manager for just about anybody at this point, and make a pretty decent living off of it, if not an amazing one for a bigger company or celebrity or whatever. And if it was me, if I was on her team and I saw the backlash from the initial tweet, I'd have been like, hand me your phone. I got it. This is what we're going to do, right? We know what you meant. Most of your fans know what you mean. We know what your intent is. We know your intent isn't to necessarily flaunt your riches and flaunt your riches on the peasants. Like, we know that that's not what the intent is. So this is what we're going to say, right? Because it doesn't have to be so defensive all the time. And I think it would be exhausting to always feel like you have to defend yourself for everything. Right or wrong, right? Like, I feel like that would be really exhausting. So I would, like, in times like that, I would have been like, here you go. I need a teammate to do that. I need somebody that I pay to make sure that this train keeps running to run this too.
That's an interesting point. And because now I'm thinking about it too, from past thoughts, right, is that we've got more of a direct connection. And I know we've kind of touched around this, right? We've got more of a direct connection to the people that we wouldn't have had connection to years, in our teenage years. And to that extent, I'm sitting here thinking, it's something that kind of caught my head was, at what point do you lose the genuine communication or the genuine connection to this person or your fans, if you are having somebody run your social media? So that brings up that kind of got an interesting question, because
That's a great
it could
question.
solve a lot of problems, but at the same time, now it's like, no, who is it? Yeah.
Well, because I feel
usually
like
ask good questions. I don't know answers.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of the two. I think the most successful and I keep trying to preface newer celebrities, right? Cardi was a celebrity on the internet before she was a celebrity on TV, which before she was a celebrity because of the music. Like, her music was the last thing we knew her for. And I think so she is one who is comfortable on the internet because that's how she got to be known in the first place. She got on Love and Hip Hop New York, I think it is. Yeah, Love and Hip Hop New York, because she was already kind of like an Instagram famous. And then through Love and Hip Hop New York, like, I met her through that show. That's how I found out who Cardi B is. I never heard of her on the internet. That wasn't my internet timeline. She never hit my timeline in that way. And I found out about her when she was on Love and Hip Hop New York. And then I found out about her music because she was on Love and Hip Hop New York. And then she's one of the very few to successfully transition from reality TV to the thing that they were chasing in reality TV, which was the music, right? And it's good. Like, I like her music. I enjoy it. I'm definitely jamming and dancing to WAP and all that good stuff. Like, I think it's a place for it. And it's fun, And I think that's what most of us as her fan base, like we don't, Cardi is fun. Cardi is liberation. Cardi is freedom. Cardi is, look, be who you are, whatever, regardless of what that means. And like, you don't have to be perfect to be successful, which is very interesting dichotomy on the topic. Her tweet was an imperfect statement. It was, it was a statement in an imperfect time. If you think about it, like,
Mhm.
if this was a year ago, nobody would be really talking too much about her tweeting about a $10,000 purse, because that's what rappers do. They have money. They tweet about it. They talk about having expensive things.
Right.
Because of the timing, is the only reason, in my personal opinion, that it's even a discussion.
Yeah, that's interesting too, and frankly, I guess, like I said, my first thought of it was, okay, yeah, maybe a little tone deaf because of
Right.
what's out there going on right now. But at the end of the day, look, it's first of all, I mean, I don't mean this to be anything less than top top layer. But I mean, girls like purses, right? I mean, she got excited. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, at the end of the day, she liked purse. She wanted to show it. She was excited. All right, I'm gonna tweet about it.
And
It's
that's it.
it's not, and the worst part is there are so many different things that we see these younger celebrities come out and put online, or have facts or factions of their lives put online in some way, shape, or form, that have gone viral, gone around the world. And I mean, this, a topic of maybe being tone deaf, this is nothing. I mean, we see things that are far more critical and
Yeah.
far more damning to people. That's we live in a world. That's the funny thing. Is, like, we live in a world where everyone has access, and guess what? Everyone has opinions, whether they're in agreement or disagreement, right, wrong, or indifferent. They have a platform where they can exercise that opinion, and no matter how minor in reality a tweet is about a a really expensive purse, someone's going to have some of the, she could have said it's a beautiful sunny day out, and someone's going to chime in and say, man, the weather's great and sucks here. I mean, it's just the way life is.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that celebrity culture in its own, even when you take social media out of it, because celebrity culture, even in our lifetime, right? We're both 35, right? Like, we're both
Mhm.
35. In our lifetime, we've seen the rise of, like, we saw Princess Diana die because paparazzi were chasing her,
Mhm.
right? That is a version of that's not a version. That is the culmination of celebrity culture at its worst, really, because these
Yeah.
people were willing to chase this woman, you know what I mean, to get a picture of her, because that picture could have paid them enough money to change their lives. And that speaks to systems and capitalism and all kinds of other very more broad and more real type of things. Um, but I think with social media, it's almost like celebrities had the ability to kind of take some of that power back, because they get to choose what they share for the most part. And if you
Good
think
point.
about it, I'm sure there's paparazzi that still exists, but do they exist to the magnitude that they were when we were little? Like, when we were kids, and like, we had those, we would see the pictures in the magazines and stuff in the grocery store, and like all of these, dirt type sheets and stuff like that. And like, now it's blogs that do the same thing, but I feel like it's just far more different, because I feel like celebrities they've taken more control of what they share now, which
Yeah.
I personally think it's better for them. I do think some don't know the filtering, they fall short of the filtering of some of that, which
Yeah, that
causes
maturity
a lot of
piece is,
issues.
yeah, and it does, and it really, it brings a whole different scope to life. But as we've kind of discussed, right, that the tools have changed over the time. I mean, my argument would be along the same lines of, yeah, the paparazzi that we knew growing up has really, in a way, died off, died down significantly. But I would also throw out the fact that it's almost like it's gotten worse, because
Mm.
now you don't know. At least when it was paparazzi, I mean, I almost could sit there, and maybe I'm just thinking just off of how I vision in my head, right? Yeah, I vision the paparazzi. I see guys, I have people out there with cameras and getting all up in your face and everything. But now you've got people that maybe you have no idea who's looking. Yep. and everything's with that cell phone. And all of a sudden that thing you're doing as a person that any other person in the world would do now just went up viral because, well, you're a celebrity. We've put you on a sainted pedestal. And now we just want to mock you because,
open for criticism, everything,
yeah,
your whole thing.
It's
I actually remember about a year ago, and funny enough, it is Cardi B, because I think I remember seeing it, and I felt the need to even have something to say because I thought it was really stupid. She was like at the mall Christmas shopping or something, Cardi B, and a photo was taken of her, and she wasn't in like full Cardi B mode. She had like no makeup on, head wrap, was like most of us will go outside to go to the mall on, Christmas season. She was dressed comfortably. She had a couple security with her, of course, but like she was in the mall. Like everyone else would be, dressed like most people would be. And of course, somebody with a cell phone caught it and, oh, she's not cute without her makeup, or she looks real regular without her makeup. And it's just like, she is regular. She's a person. All of them are. Every one of these people are regular ass people who would like to also be able to go to the store.
Yeah.
And not have to be on in that regard. But, at the other hand, it is part of that responsibility when you get to that certain level. So it's like, I don't want to say I feel bad for celebrities, but I can understand how that trying to find the balance for themselves would be a struggle. And I'm sure Cardi, when she tweeted it, did not think it was going to be like a 2-day long dissertation with think pieces and folks like us talking about it on the internet.
Right?
Like, I'm sure she had no clue. She was just like, I like it first. Should I get it, y'all? And it became a topic of discussion about class and, capitalism and all kinds of other wonderful big words.
I mean, at the end of the day, she fits into my rules, right? And my rules are, if you can't put more money in there than the purse is worth, then don't worry about it. She can heftily fill that bag. So at that point, it means nothing. And I get it. I understand where, again, it's wrapping your mind around from every angle to understand, how reaction is going to set off an equal or opposite reaction. And, you can understand where these fans are going to be critical of going through hard times and having somebody flaunt in reality, right? Flaunt is something that's of high value, that's theoretically throwaway money, right? At the end of the day that they may not have. But at the same time, you have to sit there and say, look, the country right now is made up of people that are roughly 10%. I should probably get a better fact, right? Roughly 10% is where that unemployment rate is, right? So there's a good chunk of this country that is struggling in general. But you got to remember, there's people that don't have celebrity status that are going out there and acquiring things because they've earned them in whatever their skill in life might be. And if it's the businessman, the sales rep who had a great year and went out and decided they wanted to buy I don't know, what do I want? I would love a Ford F-150 Raptor. I'm not going to lie to you. But I mean, if
very
if I
specific,
like
Ron. That was so specific.
I was just thinking, what do I really want in life? But it's like, if I earned it, I'm going to feel like I earned it. I'm going to be excited, and I'm going to share. I'm probably going to share it with people I feel are going to care, that care about me, and like, hey, check out what I got. Not an intention to brag, but like, hey, this is. When people get a new dog, they put, hey, look at the new member of our family. Well, guess what? It's my new member of my family. Check it out.
I worked really hard on something, and this is how I get to celebrate it.
Yeah.
That is our timer, y'all. Ooh wee. I guess we're done.
Yeah, I guess we're done. That was. I think we got some old points in and some new points in. Life is good.
It's been a pleasure, Ron. This is great.
All right, we'll talk soon, I'm sure.
Yes, we will.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, what an interesting discussion on celebrities and their impact on society. Wow. Thank you so much, Ron and Dre. That's it for us, folks. Catch us next week for a brand new episode with brand new contributors. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at Wanna Coffee Pod. That's Wanna Coffee Pod. I'm your host, Kai, and let's Wanna Coffee next week. Cheers. Oh my God, orange is not my new black.